Welcome, everybody. Welcome. I see you out there, Yeti. DJ, welcome. Welcome, everyone, to Kulprids Gaming presents Curse of Strahd. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to join our adventures, lore. To those of you that are new here, I stream 7 Days to Die throughout the week, and on Saturdays, it's all about the D&D. If you like what you see here, please consider following, as every follow does help the channel grow. Subs and bits are appreciated, but thank you again. Currently playing some Fall Guys. Nice, Yeti. Nice. When last we left off in our adventures within the land of Barovia, we our players had just gotten dressed up in the attire that was properly laid out upon the beds, almost for everybody else. It looks like. Oh man! All right. I will have to disable that. Yeah, all the attire was laid out for the people within our within our um within our group, except for Monk, which, fitting enough, there was multiple clothes there for Monk currently, which was quite interesting, I believe, from his perspective as well. And as they walk down the lavished staircase, they make their way through the area where there are a bunch of gargoyles up along the skylight above them. And as they walk through, the doors open. There were three enormous crystal chandeliers brilliantly illuminating the magnificent chamber. Pillars of stone stand against the dull white marble walls, supporting the ceilings. In the center of the room, a long, heavy table is covered with fine white satin cloth. The table is laden with many delectable foods: roast beef, based in savory sauce, fruits and herbs of every taste, the sweet fruits and vegetables. Places are set for each of you, with fine, delicate china and silver. At each place is a crystal goblet filled with an amber liquid with a delicate, tantalizing fragrance. At the center of the far west wall, between floor to ceiling mirrors, stands a massive organ, its pipes blaring out a thunderous melody that speaks in the tone of greatness and despair. Seated at the organ, facing away from you, a single caped figure pounds the keys in raptured ecstasy. The figure suddenly stops, and as a deep silence falls over the dining hall, it slowly turns around to you. Welcome. Please have a seat. As you see his hands
So walks
extend.
right into the room. I can't go through this. Oh, there we go. Takes a look around and goes and takes a seat right at the side of the table, ignoring the two people behind him.
As you look, the two people that you see right there and the person across are actually people sitting already currently at the dining table.
Oh, okay. Well, then
Sorry.
goes and take a seat. Okay, it didn't look like that.
Move
Goes
over
and
as.
takes a seat.
Is there assigned seating? Is there like a nameplate for everybody?
No, you just see that there are plates and everything standing um just around. It's you just fit in, get in where you fit in, I guess. Like um
Yeah, there's definitely more
there's more people
people than
here
visual.
than the actual table. Is the idea of being there.
Esmeralda.
I'm sorry, what?
Mind if I sit here?
Oh, no, go right ahead.
Our surroundings, eyes wary.
Mary, would you like my seat?
Oh, you're fine, dear, where you are.
Get it.
Mm.
I Doe instantly starts shoveling food onto his plate.
Sir, can you please maintain yourself for a moment? Strahd is looking at you, Doe. We have our dear maid here, Helga. She will fix your plates for you as the courses come across.
Doe, with a mouthful of bread already, nods and puts the food back down and pushes the plate away.
Well, Helga, can we please start with the lobster bisque? And as Helga managed to make her way around, we'll start over here with you, Monk. And Monk, do an insight check or a perception. Actually, more of a perception check.
Perception? Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, no, I don't perceive anything really.
Okay. Would you? And she kind of like looks at you. Would you like some lobster bisque, sir?
That is too extravagant for me. Do you have anything that is more simple?
And you kind of notice her. She looks back at Strahd and around the table and looks down real quickly. No, I'm so sorry, sir. This is
That
this
is that is.
uh,
It'll be fine. I will go ahead and partake.
So then she grabs the ladle and kind of puts a spoon or a ladle full into the bowl in front of you as she moves around to Ramond. Can I interest you in some lobster bisque too?
Oh, yes, please. Thank you.
As she grabs another ladle and kind of moves forward. Mary, can you roll an insight check as she comes to you? Noticing her, you do notice her shoulders shrugged forward a little bit and kind of still looking down. And
I have a passive insight of 16. Does
That-
that count for anything?
that does, yes.
Okay.
So you see her kind of her shoulders forward, and you look at her face, and you see that her face has this worrisome look on it. Shoulders kind of forward, like I was saying, tight-lipped. Really, you would see a little bit of sweating from the tops of her brow. Like she's. Would you like some lobster bisque?
Yes, darling.
You would also get the feeling of her being kind of scared in the situation, right? Um, with the way that she's holding herself up and the ways that she's walking, and you see these small glances up at you as well as back over across the table to Strahd and the three other guests there.
So it's very clear that she's doing this under duress.
Yeah.
Mm.
Would you like some lobster bisque too, ma'am? As she asks Mergai.
Suspiciously at it, but the response is quite curt.
If you want, I can check for poisons so that you won't insult our host.
Kind of her voice under her breath. I'm more than capable.
Did you
Can
say
if
that
you
out
want.
loud, or did you say that out of
Very
character?
much under her breath.
Well, I said that out loud. Seeing her try to turn away. The obviously not all their maid, who's probably going to get beat for not giving us all lobster bisque.
And Mergai, did you say you would or wouldn't take it?
Not hear me still?
I can hear you right now.
Okay. Yes, please. Marigai is kind of curt about it, but she kind of stiffly nods at the lady.
And you, madam? As she looks at you as
May as well.
do you would would this be something that you would be interested in too? As she looks at you, Graurig. Unfamiliar, as you know, unfamiliar is your race to the lands of Barovia.
Yes.
Thank you. And do an insight check as well, Graurig. Or I'm sorry, not insight. Perception.
Perception?
Yeah.
Aw.
What's your passive?
My passive is a 15.
Okay, we'll go with that then. You notice that as she's walking past you, not only is her shoulders drawn forward, her eyes are not looking you directly, but her corner of her eyes, she's still looking at Strahd. But you notice there's a slight limp to her walk. And might I interest you in some as well? And as she looks at you, Doe, like glancing very quickly.
Go still chewing on the bread that he just grabbed, nods excitedly.
As she grabs a ladle full and puts it onto your bowl as well. Y'all begin the first meal of the night, and she steps back. Stage is set. So, how have you been faring in my lands? As you see Strahd pick up the goblet laden with gold and silver inlays, placing it upon his lips, taking a small sip. And placing it back on there.
You ask us how we're doing. Do you truly care because you drug us to this land?
Well, drug you. I wouldn't say I drug you to this land. I would say I'd like to foster your want to come to this land, not necessarily drag you. There's no fun in that.
I was living a very modest life in Neverwinter, yet now here I am, with no understanding of why or how or even a lay of the land.
Well, to be fair, I've been watching you in this land, and I've seen remarkable things and noticed abilities that you should not have had when I invited you. I come to realize the distortion of your mind. And so you, my friend, would not the one that I was actually inviting, but
By the
appreciate
way,
it all the same.
Cadell wants to know if you're the one who stole his axe.
Only his axe? Why? And you see the smirk, the smirk that you just want to, for lack of better terms, a shit-eating smirk that you would just want to just punch him in the face for saying, or for doing. What would I want to do with this Cadill's axe?
He, it was just asked of me to ask you.
Nah, fair enough. I would like to rest his mind and put him at ease. I have no need for his axe, and therefore I don't have one of his axes.
More importantly, Cadell truly isn't the one that you should be worried about. But I have I have that person really in check for tonight.
You make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Also, meanwhile, Doe's halfway through his plate of food. Question: is the food any good?
So, tasting the food, and it is the best. If you have you being where you're from, yes, you have had lobster bisque before, but you have never had it so tantalizing as this. This is the by far best lobster bisque you have ever had.
Completely silent. Doe keeps eating.
Got a 14 on my con save.
14? Okay. Well, I believe I have met that one before. Everything would be okay with him. I see him as not really much of a threat, but
Oh, he's grown since the last time you've seen him.
my friend, do you know how long I have looked over these lands, have fought in wars to save these lands. Strength had not come from moments in your lifetime, but moments in many of your lifetimes, as I have superseded.
Yes, maybe, but at some point, every reign comes to an end.
I agree. And maybe one day I would like to see lands outside of this one. But that would be a discussion another time. As he just kind of, you see him just not really glancing, but kind of just surveying as if you were all a part of the lands of Barovia, just surveying from a top of a crest, just looking back and forth across each one of your faces. He goes in for another sip of his goblet.
Nightmare guy hasn't actually taken any bite of her food yet. She's poked and stirred at it for a minute, but Strahd's presence, words he's spoken, she's kind of kept her head down, hood drawn. Her fist is clenched so tightly around the spoon, you can almost see the whites of her knuckles. Hasn't said anything yet.
Joe looks over at Gralrig's still full plate and looks up at Gralrig. You gonna eat that?
I've been eating, but if he wants the rest of the bisque, go ahead. I've gotten most of the meat out of it.
It's all right. I'll wait for next course.
As I thought. Trust me, the broth is worth it.
Mergai, it's been some time since I've last seen you. Go ahead. Pull back your cloak. You're safe for now.
His teeth clench. Of silence. And with a single amber eye poking out from underneath her. These no recognize her. Breaks up a hand, kind of draws it back. Too soon for my taste.
Can you pull your audio up a little bit?
I
was just-
can't, unfortunately. Hang on. I'm trying to speak louder. I'm sorry. Second. Yeah, I'm up as much. Oh, hang on.
That's actually perfect. Wherever you're at right there, just at the same level you're talking right now is perfect.
She draws her hood back. She just kind of glares at him in kind of a stiff manner. I kind of put on a bravado face at this point. Ask me, it's been me, it hasn't been long enough.
Well, I understand frustrations you must be enduring. I mean, I told you you weren't ready. And yet your friends did not listen.
His eye kind of twitches for a second, but it's her tongue.
I see, two, Vistanis in my presence. How did you meet, these four here?
I nod to Esmeralda, like kind of nodding like you can go ahead and go first, as is customary.
She kind of glances and gives a little curt nod to him. And it's like, I happened upon them yesterday after in the eve in the afternoon. While on horseback, making my way back to Valaki.
Oh, wrong person, but whatever. Let me select the right person. As you hear him sniff the air in front of him. Familiar scent. How did you fare when leaving the castle last?
She kind of stiffens a little bit and eyes him down. No worse for wear.
Wonder, might I have a little insight of what you were looking for when you were here last?
She probably she kind of just like eyes him up and down a little bit and it's like not too much. A lay of the land, I suppose.
So you did not find what you were actually looking for, I see.
She doesn't answer.
Need not answer. I think I've come to an understanding of my own. And you, mighty warrior. No, not a warrior. But a fighter, a ranger of some sorts. As he looks over at you, Growrig.
A soldier, if nothing else. Since you seem to know us well enough, you should know that much about me.
Your fighting style is quite unique, though. Your type, I am used to long-range combat. But you interest me. You're strong. Stand before everybody instead of behind everybody.
Never was too good with bows.
Huh. Kind of makes his eyes going from left to right and sees, and kind of you see him stop at Mary with his glance. Believe I do remember you, or at least remember you being brought here, but I don't know what exactly we were going to do with you, as you were taken before you got here.
Well, an elegant and generous host such as yourself bestows upon us a great honor by allowing us to dine within your luxury, sir. Do forgive me for being forward, but to what do we owe this honor, O benevolent one?
Well, it's just I've been seeing through the eyes of many, many folks here in Barovia, and I've noticed the stirs that you have made. It was made my way over to Yesterhill, gaze upon the lands from before in the mists, and saw so much destruction of all the druids and the loss of many, many berserkers. I felt it was time that we got to meet, get a formal understanding of each other, and, maybe get you to understand what I do here and what I am doing here.
Go grabs the plate that he had before and starts picking off of it.
Up, you call those druids?
What else would I call them? They are holding nature in their hand, or whatever that construct of nature is here.
Gaze for a minute. Nature, they corrupt it.
Did they corrupt it? I guess we'll never know. He looks across, and as you guys see, he goes, "Oh, by the way, let me introduce you." As they sat so quietly here for now, this is Lurmila. And this is Anastasia. And you've met Escher, as he was the one that helped you find your clothes. Your attire for tonight. As you see, the maid comes over and starts clearing out the table for getting rid of the dishes that are currently there for the lobster bisque. Kind of just makes her way around the table for the sake of brevity, and formally pulls those bowls from in front of you, and then starts working on slicing the tender beefs, laced with vibrant greens, baked bread, and butter. These are my consorts. As you look at Ludmilla and Anastasia, it kind of they give you a prideful sense the way that they sit up as a debutante, and kind of the centers of their eyebrows are kind of folded upwards, looking down upon you. You would see them as pretty snooty and pretty snide. Absolutely gorgeous, and identifying this one as an elf and this is just a humanoid. Anastasia says, "Yeah, they can't even talk a proper sentence. And look at them; they're so quiet."
So, with his mouth half full, well, if you have delicious food like this, you can't expect us to talk much.
You see, Valenta kind of like, just silent, right? Not saying a word, kind of just looking down at, you, and kind of, you see the body language, is kind of standoffish, like fearful, like unable to speak well. It is good, and then like with a question mark to that, as she grabs her glass that's in front of her, and you notice, all of you notice that nobody over here, over on this side of the table, has any food in front of them. They just have their goblet.
Joe looks over and sees that and grabs the plate of the tray of food in the middle and slides it closer to him.
Oh,
Esmeralda just kind of huffs and is like, "No, I don't think they have much need for food."
Well, why let it
I
go to
ain't that
waste?
ki-
Exactly.
I ain't not that kind of food anyway.
go. We're their food.
Joe
Well,
looks up
maybe
and
not you,
smiles.
Galric.
That's a good point.
Joe looks up
Got
and smiles. Then I guess we better fatten up.
him.
Esmeralda's just kind of like thumbing her bag, like so inching towards the steak. Like she just doesn't like these people.
Just been
Joe
glaring
looks
this
up.
entire time.
So I'm still curious. Why the invite?
Well, I do enjoy getting to know those I invite and how they progress within my lands. Get let's say, a feel for you.
I help but wonder what vested you that power over these lands.
Well, I mean, let's spend 20 years fighting for the freedom of this land from the Turgs. They drove us away from this ancestral land for 10 years. And as a general, I fought for 10 more long years to push them back as we won against them. This castle you sit within was the last mountain fortress of all the warlords. I named it after my beautiful mother, Queen Ravanovia.
Tales are still sung about that day. How many Vistani died to make that a reality, and how you fought so bravely and valiantly.
We were able to mitigate a lot of the Vistani from passing. However, the fact that you, not particularly you, of course, but your ancestors saved me and did not give those warlords my name and who I truly was, allowed the victory to come. And to the Vistani, very grateful. But you, my friend, have found yourself a bit of a bind.
How so?
I see that you accepted the invitation by proxy. Therefore, I respect you, but I can't allow you to leave the land as freely as everybody else for now.
You speaking the way in which we come and go through the mists?
You have that. I
I have a
believe.
feeling.
Oh, sorry for interrupting. Please proceed.
I have a feeling I wasn't going to be using much of the mists anyways. There's a lot of questions I have in this land here for my people, for myself.
I do believe. I see something in you, Hermand. As you recognize, he knows exactly who you are at this moment.
Well, I guess I should just raise a glass to you, our gracious host, Lord Strahd of Barovia. I know my invitation wasn't direct, but after many years, the Vistani have kind of grown accustomed to the lack of invitations to your court. Why is that?
I have much pressing matters at the moment. I understand that I don't come down and break bread. I have other things, other problems, other pressing matters. For the lack of better, I would have to say that I have things that I have to have accomplished before I could feel free to be able to do that once again.
I mean, you do know of our contract, the one that's been spoken through bond and blood. Can't speak of it here, of course, but it just seems that you have lost interest in the very people that assisted you so many long years ago.
see, the problem with this is that the unexpected turn of events of you wanting me to come meet the people that have been offspringed from the people that did save me. It's interesting how you would think that I need to go down there and be there or have interest when it wasn't you, but it was your elders that have long since passed that had saved me. Who knows if you would do it now?
It's a very fair point.
But I mean,
So,
don't worry about that kind of thing. I mean, to be fair, I haven't had an interest of going out much of late. I have had my eye on a certain person recently and did not want to falter from the path where I might be happy.
I raise my glass to him again. I'm like, well, the night is young. I will let others speak. There are some other questions, if you have time, Strahd, that I'd like to ask.
Absolutely.
Though still chewing away, goes, I want to learn more about these gems.
Oh, has wine been served yet?
Some sort of amber liquid, I believe, is what was described
Yes.
to us.
Yes, I was
Oh,
remember.
okay. I take a drink of that as I was raising the glass to Strahd. What does that taste like? What is that stuff?
What you are drinking or what I am drinking?
Oh no, out of character, what I'm drinking.
Oh.
I take a drink of the amber liquid
Amber.
in that glass.
It is the absolute most sweetest wine you have ever tasted, and you don't recognize it as one that you would have partaked with the Wizard of Wines, or uh, you may have tasted it as it came from outside of the mists, as you could tell that it would be one that may have been imported.
Oh my goodness. I my eyes like open up. I'm like, I take a sip of it. I raise my hand and I look towards the maid. Maid, can I have some water as well, please?
Yes, yes, you can.
And I
And she glances to the left at Strahd and glances to the right to you, puts her head down again, and she steps out of the room.
and just to let you know, once it comes back, I'm gonna be subtly using gestures to cast prestidigitation on the water itself to see if I can match the taste, to see if I can make that taste later.
Okay.
All right.
And how's the meal faring for you, Gralrig? Is it to
I
your
mean,
liking?
good food is always hard to come by, so it's always nice to see it well done.
Here goes. Does he even eat that? What is that thing?
And you, elf, should know better than to speak ill of the Dragonborn.
Hmm. Dragonborn, more like lizardborn. As she takes a sip of her goblet again.
So, Strahd, do you find some uneducated ones to have around you?
I got to say she's a bit of a handful.
That's what you get when you go for looks instead of brains.
That is fair, so to say.
So,
Sure.
Strahd,
Oh, go ahead.
you mentioned that you had reasons for dragging us from our homes, from the lives we were leading, for your amusement. I I understand that you are a great and powerful man, sir, but one does not find balance by simply choosing to uproot lives for his own amusement. It will never bring you the peace and balance that you're looking for.
Peace and balance. You say this as if your mind has some sort of balance to it as well. I like that.
I may talk on behalf of others currently residing in the same physical form. However, I personally am balanced.
Since I've learned of your condition, is it okay if I call it a condition?
It is your house.
Oh, host, that's rude. Doesn't make for a good dinner, right?
We there's many layers to that particular statement that you just made. However, proceed.
I would like to offer you this. As he takes out of his vest pocket inside of his jacket, you see a purple ring. And he hands it over to Anastasia. Please, hand this to Monk. And as she takes the ring and kind of passes it over to you,
Mm-hmm.
you notice it glistens, and inside of it, you see like a spiraling mist just within it. This might help you kind of pull yourself together.
It seems like, and correct me if I'm wrong, you would you think that pulling me together will weaken me, and therefore you want to you want to stifle the other voices.
Oh, that's not what I am saying. In fact, all of you, as he glances across the table to everybody, all of you, I would like you to get stronger, to show me what you are worth. If you've got everything that it takes for the future of Barovia.
Esmeralda kind of looks up a little bit more at him, looking down from her nose, going, "So you brought these strangers for not amusement, but a means to an end. And what might that end be?"
It has not been written. But I do, and I would like to find. And he kind of looks at the two ladies at the table. I would
Three
like to.
ladies?
No, the two ladies that are next to him. Sorry, I should have been more
The
specific.
consorts.
Yeah, the consorts. Because I would like to find my true love. And then I might be able to break the curse. Stop being here once and for all. I have gathered you here more so for the help than anything else. However, don't think of this being a way to take me down, but more so of this is not my weakness. The strength of having you here, helping me find my true love.
It seems like your true love is you looking in the mirror.
How rude and insensitive.
And as I'm saying that, I just sort of slide the ring into my pocket. No, I'm not being over. I'm not being covert about it. I just, very nonchalantly, but not, trying to hide it either.
You will find that as he sees you kind of like, putting it in there, you will see that it doesn't necessarily quiet the others, but more so of provide the ability to pull out whoever is needed. A choice on an action. Who you would want to fight as.
I'll take it under advisement. Doe, how was your dinner?
He keeps trying to take my steak, so what do you think?
Absolutely delicious.
Awesome. That is good to hear.
I think we should definitely come back again sometime.
I
You can
laughed
have
at my
mine.
glass.
Monk is very. He is eating, but he's not eating in heavy quantities. He's just being he is living. He is sticking to his simple roots.
Can you do a perception check again?
Yeah.
Nice.
I see.
You look at you look kitty corner to where you're sitting currently at Escher, and Escher's kind of looking at you in like an awe. Jaw dropped, kind of just looking at all of you, just taking you in as if he was one of you or longs to be one of you. You guys have been doing such amazing adventures since you have been here. We've heard of all. Oh, he kind of looks over at Strahd. Proceed, Ash. Proceed. It's fine. I mean, and he kind of looks over at Strahd again one more time. Just I've heard the tales of the fight at the Wizards of Wines. I've heard of fight at Yasterhill. I've seen and heard so much that you have done. Oh, fight in these wonderful fights again would be so amazing.
Escher, that sounds absolutely amazing. If you have some time, I'd like to take these stories and maybe with your help, we could write a ballad. And maybe even sing some of your songs as well.
Really? Yeah. You really mean that? I would love to. As he looks to Strahd again, Strahd goes, you see him nod in acceptance. You may go ahead and work with Armando. I do have to, and I'm sorry to do this, but I need to know that you and this group are going to do what it's necessary to free these lands. And you see him take his thumb, his first finger, and his middle finger, and facing it towards you, he pulls it back to him and lifts up into the air. As you see the mists come from your skin, kind of like come out and evaporate into the sky above. No worry though. If what you are here to do is done, that will not be necessary. And he looks at Esmeralda with his other hand and takes his two fingers and his thumb and does the same motion as you see the mist come from your skin and just evaporate into the air above you.
You do realize you have taken the very means of us traveling with our peoples. You've cut us off and trapped us, just as you were trapped.
And I believe, and he looks at you dead in the eye, believe you have what it takes within this group to make sure what is needed is done, where you'll never need that again.
Esmeralda just kind of, I didn't have much need for the mists anyways.
Smiling, I try to hide my anger about the situation. But so I look to Escher and Lord Strahd, with your permission, Escher and I could work just away from the table to come up with maybe a ballad to play tonight. I'll leave the matters of the serious discussions between you and Esmeralda in regards to our peoples.
As he nods his head, you see that the maid does come in at this moment, bearing a pitcher of water. You like this now, or?
Yeah. Escher, did you have a table that we could sit at with some of this excellent tasting wine?
As she looks around and then she looks at you, no. This is normally where the dinner is.
I'm kind of like lost. I don't know what the tact would be here. So I wait for Escher to make a move or for Strahd to say something about where we should go or if we need to work on it here or what to do.
Okay. So then Escher, as he starts to pull his seat back, Strahd puts his hand up and says, "You will have more time for that after dessert."
Oh yes, then I will certainly take the water now. Thank you.
Okay, and then take a look at one thing real fast. I just need to find. Okay. As for you, though, are you enjoying the meal tonight? It seems like you may need seconds.
Oh, I'd be on thirds by now. It's excellent.
Do you have any?
mentioned-
Go ahead.
Mention something about dessert.
Yes.
Wait, sorry, I cannot hear. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he kind of looks towards you and yes, we do have something very good for desserts. And tells you that there's many different assortments of fruits that are delectable here. In fact, as he looks around the table, I believe, are you all done with the meal that we can proceed to dessert?
Doe slips a loaf of bread into his pocket.
What was that you said, Mary? I couldn't hear you. It sounds like you were speaking in a different language.
I was.
I appreciate you calling me a generous sir. As he starts to elongate his words and starts speaking in a different language himself, he you hear the longness of the and he just starts going off on this, explaining to her nope, nobody can actually see that. So let's go ahead and say it. So he speaks to me to Strahd, asking if we allow women to of our land to venture into occupations outside of the homes and churches of the land. And as Strahd enunciates this, and nobody else understands this, I think, except for Mary or anybody. Does anybody here speak Giant?
of the primal languages, no.
Not this
Oh.
character.
Okay,
No,
so
not at all.
well,
not
okay.
this iteration of me.
Wait, primordial? I'm trying to remember what giant was. I've
It's
got
giant.
primordial.
It's just
It's
giant.
giant. It's
Yeah.
its own.
Yeah. Too
Um.
many additions into my
I
head.
can't. I can't understand either. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
we can hear you. Yes.
I'm having
As
so many freaking issues with this damn thing.
as Strahd, women of my land are worshipped, are loved. They are free to do mostly whatever they want to do. I have no qualms with them being able to venture out. As far as they can go is the mists.
That's apparent from how you act, and I've seen them, but why?
Many, many years ago, centuries, in fact, as he looks kind of down a little bit, but still keeping his stature, his shoulders back, his general like stance, just looks down at his goblet and kind of swirls it around a little bit. Many centuries ago, I lost a lot of people that I cared for. My mother, as I have spoken, on her way to travel here to Ravenloft, as I so humbly named it after her. She had gotten ill and died on the journey here. My father went mad and casted himself over the edge and ledge when losing my mother. The loss of my love, Tatiana, that was enough to break anybody. And my brother, Sergi, his unexpected death as you see him kind of gaze out into the openness of the room on the outside of you guys, just you get the sense of sadness in the words that he speaks. The weight of the loss, almost as if you can empathize and see it yourself on how it would feel if you lost all of these loved ones after you fought so hard and for so many years to free the lands. It was unfortunate that after such, the mists pulled us to another plane, held us within our own. I don't quite know. I reflect on it every so often when I go to Yesterhill. As I sit on the dying grass with the lack of light, and I look outwards, there you can see an image, a visage of the past. Right there on the mists, I can see the castle in its glory. The white lights and sun dawn upon it.
To be loved like that, I kind of look down somberly. I can see why that has shaken you so much.
This is why, Armand, I need you to be your strongest. I take not your ability to flee lightly, but more so that you stand and fight.
So I must ask, let's just say we're all able to accomplish the task that you have set out for us. What good does it bring the land? I know it would bring you great good, but what about the people that dwell here? The towns in which people pay taxes to you are in disrepair. The roads are dangerous. What is it that you will do for everyone else, not just me or us personally, but I say that speaking just for myself. I look around the room. What will you do for Barovia if this were to be accomplished?
Would you imagine the lights hitting the castle once again? The flourishing food all across the valleys. The enrichment of the green that would come from all of the foliage across the lands. The mist dissipating in nowhere, but no longer obscuring the light.
Okay, I can certainly see the benefits of that, but I humbly ask, is there nothing you can do to make the people's lives that already live here a little easier in the meantime? While I speak for myself, assist in this task of yours?
Well, I believe at this point, and most of them have pretty much lost their want. Most of them blame me for their troubles.
No, I mean, you are lord of these lands. You would have to understand that people would blame the one person king entity that you are from, troubles in these lands.
Well said, my friend. Well said.
Aye, and if these mists are yours, why don't you just lift them?
That's a good point. Yeah.
Hmm.
I only hold the ability to let, based on the pact that I made in the past, the Vistani to freely walk in and out.
I glance toward Esmeralda. Then I look back towards Strahd. But you've taken that choice. You have to at least give us something now in return to be able to assist you with this. Because
As he places
I
his
will.
goblet down on the ground or on the table, and he kind of leans forward to you. I have to do what?
You don't have to do anything. Let me rephrase that, Lord Strahd. I will present this logically. You took away my means of fleeing, but I never had any intention of fleeing. In fact, helping you is a way to help my people and the Georgi that live here as well. So whether you took my mists or not, or my ability to transverse them, I would have still been in the same attitude. It seems almost as if you had to do it in fear that we wouldn't somehow come through. I'm sure you know a lot about all of us. I assume you know what kind of person I am. You know that I care about my people and the people of the land. Even though from time to times there are rumors that I steal from them, yeah. But
Yeah.
I care nonetheless.
I'd imagine Esmeralda's like taking a drink of of the wine, and at the moment setting it down and kind of looking to Armand and going, "It is a quest of a foolish man, or sorry, maybe not foolish the right word, but a selfish man who seeks only his love and curing of himself, and the potential, I'm guessing, of reincarnation of Tatiana, as you've heard stories of her being your true love, and that of what you seek. Your search is only of cure for yourself, rather than those of the land. Mayhaps I'm mistaken, but that is what I can see."
Well said, Esmeralda. You got
And
to the
for
point.
and for a man that speaks of free will, has taken free will and chosen a path for us for his own whim. I understand that you are not a man who claims to be fair. However, look at it from the perspective of, say, Galrig, or the perspective of, say, Doe, myself. We made not a choice to be here, but yet here we are. And we are hearing you out. But from my understanding, even should we succeed, technically we still fail.
I would have to say that I disagree. And understand where you coming from, Esmeralda. I would have to say that it isn't about what I want now, but what has happened before that caused for what I'm asking now. Believe everything would be put right if I can just find Tatiana. I believe
So
I have found
The
her.
rest of
Doe looks up from his meal and goes, well, at least to sweeten the deal, I imagine someone of your stature might have access to probably the finest weapons in the land, correct?
I look at Doe and then I look right at Strahd, like nodding, like yeah.
And somebody as powerful as yourself, wouldn't why not take this task on? Why put it upon people you barely know and are putting, let's say, trust in that we will?
Well, hold on. At least if he's going to be sending us out on something, You should be giving us a little bit of compensation to protect ourselves.
I believe this can be arranged. He looks at Metaguy. I thought I heard you about to say something.
Just wondering what. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm having so many issues with this damn thing. Lost my train of thought, honestly.
Fair enough. I believe we can arrange some equipment for you to help you out.
I believe we've been looking for some armor and maybe some finer swords.
Definitely some armor.
And he looks to the right as he at Anastasia says, "You will have to make those arrangements on behalf of me." He looks back at him. Okay. Sure you want it for them? I mean, don't look like they're gonna do much. Don't worry about it. Please. Arrange some help to show them that we need their help. Or we would want them to succeed in getting stronger. Okay. As kind of nods her head and goes back to sipping out of her goblet.
So quick kicks back in his chair, quite satisfied with himself.
Yeah, I actually nod an improvement. Like I was thinking about it, but I was too afraid to ask. So I nod to you.
Doe. Orlando gives his thanks.
Joe smiles and goes, "Where's that dessert?"
Speaking of food, Marika, you haven't really touched your plate much.
Seem not to have much of an appetite.
I believe it might not be of her like her liking. Maybe dessert might be bad. Please, can you, Helga? Yes. As she walks out to go retrieve the dessert. So I do believe we've been getting a better understanding of why I've called you here to this land. As he just surveys you again, looking back and forth.
I'll have our purposes, Strahd.
Yes, it was very unfortunate what happened to your friends. I did not want that to happen.
I remember differently.
Do an insight check. That a guy. with that dirty 20, you recognize, you and you only recognize that what his actions were during the time of the fight that you and your friends had with him, that your comrades had with him, that you were absolutely 100% correct, that it was not something he was trying to hold back from. He didn't have that same care that he looks to have right now. Question is, that should linger on your mind, is whether or not that's happening because of something new that transpired recently that he had learned of.
The guy's quite the distressful one, so she's just gonna probably assume the first.
Okay. And as the maid comes in, she starts handing out starts putting these really rich, beautiful, vibrant, colorful fruits on your table right before you. You see fruits that are yellows, oranges, and reds. Kind of get the noticing that the colors of these fruits are heavily contrasted with the darks and shadows of this castle. The light illuminations of the candle lit vigils that are sitting around the top and around the sides by the walls, and the torchlights along the pillars. Maybe Metagai fruits might be your favorites rather than the others that we've tried to serve you tonight.
Could Esmeralda try to like lay a hand on Marigai and use prestidigitation for the sensory effect, and we go like, I think she's probably rather full. She may have accidentally had a bit larger of a lunch on the way here than she had planned. I mean,
Is
you
that
probably know what's happening, but you know, she doesn't care. Okay, here, let me. So, like the first one, an instantaneous, harmless sensory effect. Could she use that as like making her feel full?
I guess
Oh, that's a
you
really
could.
good question.
No, I can see that. I can see that, yeah. You are privately rolling the dice. You might want to.
Yeah. Here.
Yeah,
Such a
so
good
you do feel like this tingly feeling in your stomach. It kind of like it feels like it's protruding, yet it's not. That forcefulness that you feel when you have a huge dinner. You kind of feel that in your stomach at this moment.
Tell it came from her.
Yeah.
You would know, yeah.
Her grateful glance and a nod. Me, I wasn't aware we were going to arrive this quickly, honestly.
Fair enough. As the maid still makes her way around, handing everybody out. Yeah, the fruits, whether you eat them, totally up to you. As you may actually be just completely full from the dinner that you've already had.
I hand mine to Doe.
Doe shoves them down with no issue at all.
Do a Constitution saving throw, Doe.
Explodes. I'm afraid with the nat one.
So at this point,
I
like
mean-
you are definitely feeling like you need to unbutton the top button of your pants. You can see the stretching of your leather tunic. You can feel all the buttons kind of like struggling to hold on right now with the amount that you've just eaten. This is the best dinner that you have probably had in all your life at this point. My friend, you look like you're almost bursting at the seams. Did they not feed you?
Well, I can never say no to a top quality meal. And it's
Oh.
taken us so long to get here. I've been expecting this for days.
I am glad that short one's just damn, he's just eating everything, isn't he?
I have noticed an appetite on him.
Where does he even put it at? As you hear in Australia say that.
Your wee lamb sounds a bit jealous.
Oh, wee lamb sounds a bit jealous. Shut the fuck up. As she takes a sip of goblet again.
Well, aren't you a pretty little thing?
Well, aren't
Oh,
you
she's-
just a condescending little thing? And takes another drink.
I like her. Can we take her with us?
I would kill her if we took her with us. You know that, Mary.
What a nice belt you would make. So what is it that I'm supposed to get them?
Armory.
All right. As she's gonna go ahead and get up and kind of walk out. My apologies. She doesn't know how to hold her tongue sometimes.
No apologies necessary. She seems very lovely.
That she is. Sometimes.
Esmeralda's just kind of under her tongue with, I wonder what Tatiana would think of her.
Was that under the tongue as in like really low, trying to hide it from Strahd from understanding that?
Not
Or
fully, but like you more of a
Snidely.
yeah, snidely.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Oh man.
Curious of what kind of magics are you in this pack? Point to look at Esmeralda.
Strahd, while we wait for your concubine, what was that song you were playing when you were coming in?
Mary,
Just call her
consort. Consort.
It's the same thing.
It is the same thing.
I believe that Mary knew what she was saying when she said it.
Yeah.
I thank you.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
Oh my god.
Can you rephrase the question, please? 'Cause
Aye, that lovely melody you were playing on your organ. What was it?
It was a song taught by my mother long ago.
It's very beautiful. Would you mind playing it again?
Oh, that'd be great, please.
Yes, I can do so. As he stands up and he walks over there and starts playing the organ once again.
I like to memorize the song.
Yeah, what kind of check would that be?
Wouldn't be
Could do
performance since it's like
uh,
my profession.
yeah, I would say performance sounds close.
Or
I was thinking that, but it seems like there's something
Remembering
else that would
something.
be
maybe like perception as far as being able to
understanding.
pick it
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Being
go with
able to hear
wisdom.
like the background.
Or yeah.
Yeah, wisdom perception check. Yeah.
All right.
How about intelligence? Because I mean, he's got a.
It's
Yeah.
just weird because all those things are like not what bards are good at.
That'd be straight out intelligence, I think.
Like
though.
I
It's
could
like
understand
how
you
would they
could do
learn
a
anything?
you could do a gestalt, just say roll performance to see if you can see like the depths of it, and also a perception to make sure you can actually hear it all.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good call. Thank you. Thank you.
There's my perception, but I'm gonna use my inspiration.
All right.
Same score. All right.
Well, I mean
then,
that technically works out. I mean,
then here's the performance.
so
I'll leave that interpretation to you.
yeah, I can't interpret that shit.
Yeah, I would probably say that you can hear the music, but in order for you to understand it as well as you'd want to, you would need to see the sheet music to understand it.
It's like I could play it as like a MIDI file, but like
Yeah,
not the
but
actual
not the
like,
actual
depth of it.
depth of which it is. Yeah.
I understand. Okay.
You'd miss all
Got
the
it.
grace notes. It's like playing a
Yeah.
music box version.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you guys are talking about. All right, cool.
He's playing a
I-
guitar
But you
instead of a
do
piano.
but you do have the melody, the overall tones
Yeah.
of it,
Have
to
the
where
basic
you can
melody.
practice those grace notes. You can make those key changes and stuff. Over time you may figure out your own way to play it, but still come across the same way as you wanted it to feel.
Got it. Thank you.
I wonder if he shouldn't do a history check to see if he's heard it before.
There's so many things that could apply to that.
No,
Yeah.
that's up to the GM.
Yeah, I would say I think the ruling on that was pretty good. I think it'll work out. If you want to, what we can do is we can stage something to where every couple of days, if you want to, out of game, shoot me over a dice roll, and we'll see if you can get that, the understanding
just-
better and better.
Yeah, just let me know what you like to do for the story. I'm down for anything.
Yeah, and then we can progress within how many we'll do like a 1d4 on how long it took for you to learn it. Once you can get me like we'll say 3 DC checks of 12 or above.
Yeah, sounds fun.
Well, Strahd is turned around.
Oh shoot.
Looks at the fruit that's been put in front of her. That seems, you said, contrast everything else almost.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
She's going to go ahead and she lowers her head, whispers quietly to herself a few words. It's very much under her breath. She kind of weaves her hand beneath the table.
And what is she doing?
To
just
detect
rolled it.
poison.
Yeah, detect poison, disease, what? There it goes. How bad I'm lagging, by the way. I just hit that button like 10 seconds ago.
Oh well. So see with with that. Okay, so as you cast that, you hear the organ kind of get lower toned. That guy, don't have to worry about that. But proceed as then it starts to get back to being plain loud as it would normally be played. And as you cast detect poison and disease, you notice that there's nothing on here that gives you any kind of idea that there's anything any kind of poisons or diseases within inside of this. I would
Joe,
also imagine that
extremely-
you would go ahead.
Extremely satisfied by the meal, stands up to walk around.
Mary is thoroughly enjoying the organ playing and finally takes a sip from the goblet.
It's good stuff, Amari.
Ice better than the mead we have back home.
Oh, I love me a good mead, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
As you get to there, Doe, can you roll a perception check? So as you walk in that area, and you're kind of looking at Strahd, you're seeing the organ being played, you hear it. Just whatever you're looking at this moment is it doesn't show exactly what catches your eye, because it doesn't matter what everything else was. As you look to the bottom of at the floor, and you see scratch marks on the floor. This to you suggests that that organ can be slid outward.
Joe, stepping forward just a little bit, also takes a look back to see what's on Strahd's plate / cup. Do I know? Obviously, she hasn't been eating, but is there anything in the cup?
You can go ahead and roll another perception. You would believe it to be blood. It's a thick, viscous kind of fluid that's sitting inside of there that you can see where it's been lifted previously, and as it slid back down, there's still a glaze that interlaces on the inside of it. There's a thickness to it.
Joe leans up against Strahd's chair that he was sitting at when he was eating, and just listens to the music.
And as Strahd finishes the song, he turns back around and sits down.
A little startled, Joe steps back, and then continues walking around the room, just to walk off the food.
That was lovely, sir. Thank you so much.
It was my pleasure. Share with you the music that my mother taught me. Just to
What's happening, Marigai, is also the spell's out of the bag, whatever, but she's still going ahead and cast her senses out and abroad the table to detect poison disease, getting kind of a full sense of everything within a foot of her on that and on the people she's sitting with.
You want to do a perception check on that?
Oh, that would have been part of the thing, wouldn't it?
Well, I did. So you're trying to get a sense of the people. I guess I got to get a little bit more understanding. What are you trying to sense?
I can't hear y'all again. Lovely. Give me 1 second.
I think what he was saying as far as because the detect poison and disease goes for the location, the creatures, and diseases within 30 feet.
I missed
Oh,
everything.
yeah.
Sorry, y'all cut out again.
Yeah, it's the tech
So-
poison for us, for everyone, right?
Yeah, so the whole, like, within the whole spectrum, I don't think he was just looking at the food.
Well, that was the first one.
Oh,
Can y'all hear
okay.
me now?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm having so many issues with this damn thing. Yeah, she's 10-minute. It lasts 10 minutes on her, but she first pinpointed on the apple, but now, like, while he's been doing his thing, she's been casting that across people and people within her range as well, within that 30.
Okay, so yeah, as you're casting that over and over, or as it expands, you see that all the food and stuff that sits across the table and that has been there, there's nothing in there that gives you any kind of thoughts or expectations or suspicions, other than your suspicion for Strahd itself, that there's any kind of nothing permeates any kind of disease or poison.
So those people don't either.
The people would not see any kind of poisons either. Was there
Or
any kind of poison?
They wouldn't be considered poisonous creatures.
No, they're not considered,
Well-
because they don't provide any kind of poison or anything to somebody. So, like, it's not like if
I didn't know with them.
yeah, you don't see any kind of poisons within them, or that they permeate any kind of poison or anything like that as well.
Question, not sure, but would vampirism be considered disease or?
That's kind of what I thought. But...
Actually, a good question.
I don't think vampirism is a disease itself, but an infliction.
What's the difference?
Well, I was gonna say, what exactly is the difference there?
Well,
I mean, we could do an nature.
no,
We could do
okay,
a nature
okay.
roll on it.
hold on.
Let's just yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, go. Yes.
Affliction affects a person with disease. On the other hand, disease is the end result of the infliction. So I guess they kind of work hand in hand, but it's not the actual.
Okay.
They're not passing the
It is
disease.
the cause.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
So okay. So he doesn't pass the disease, sort of.
Unless they go to pass the disease, it doesn't.
Wouldn't detect.
Yeah, it would detect as a disease unless they were going to pass it.
Well, thanks. I just was curious.
Me too. What we do here. That's what we do here. We learn. So as Strahd looks up at Armand. It looks like you're kind of with your eyes taking notes on the music.
I find the melody to be beautiful, and our people look to you as a leader. I think it would only be appropriate for me to learn something to pass on to my people as well. Something that means so much to you. It has to mean something to us intrinsically.
I don't know if you would be interested in it, but kind of turns around from the chair and kind of lifts up the back of the chair that he was sitting in. It has a stowage compartment there, and he grabs a few sheets of paper out of there. You notice the markings of the song as he passes them down the table. Monk, could you please pass this?
And I take it and I hand it to Armand.
Oh, thank you, Monk. I take a look down at the notes. What do I see?
You see the visage of sadness.
I'm
It's
assuming
it's
not
it's the song.
figuratively, right? Okay, got it. So I'm like, this is a great honor. I'll certainly commit this to memory. I would like to play it for you one day. One thing that I have learned to do is weave illusions into my performances as well to have a greater effect. If you'd be so kind, do you think that you might have a portrait of Tatiana, or maybe Sergey, or your mother? Something I can weave, so I can weave this story into illusion as I play it. And if I'm asking too much or I offend you, please. I have no intention of doing so. I just want to be nice.
I would prefer to kind of keep that one to myself.
I understand, but thank you nonetheless. I really appreciate it. I will master this song and play it for you. Is it a song that I can play in public, or is it only a song that I could play in your presence? I wouldn't want to offend you, it being very close to your heart.
If you do not perform it in a perfect aspect, I would not want it to be performed in front of others. I will give
I
you
completely understand.
3 letters to contact me and show me your progress. You are only allowed on your own. The rest of you, as he looks up, the rest of you, I would say that until the lands are freed, your welcome will end by morning. Must leave, and as I have some business to attend to, feel free to stay the night in the guest room.
I stand, raise my glass. Thank you for being a gracious host, Lord Strahd.
While this is going on, before the as the conversation started, I walk up to the organ. I want to take a look at it.
So you notice on the left side of the organ, there's some markings on there. They almost look like.
Sorry, does it look like I'd have to push it, or that there be a lever, or that's what I'm investigating for.
You see that there's a sort of a mechanism on the left side, as in like a button. And you see that the one looking at it closely, and Strahd is more in tune with everybody in front, as everybody's focused on the party right now as he's explaining everything. After all this,
there. Well, 17.
No, I'm just saying, just want everybody to know where the focus is lying at, just so that they know. You would have that with an advantage because he's looking at the party and talking with them right now currently.
Okay.
Okay, so still 17. All right, so As you're looking at it, the investigation brought you straight to a button that's on the side that you can reach, as well as you noticed there's 3 foot pedals on that organ, and one of them looks like it has a lift just higher than the other 2. What makes you think that you can possibly pick up and then push the button as it would draw it forward.
All right. Turning around. I just wait for them to finish talking.
As for now, if you would like to, we have the carriage that can take you anywhere in Barovia that you would like to go. Or you can spend the night inside of the guest room. I believe you all have been there.
Walking up to Strahd with the hand out to shake. Well, I do believe that it is worth staying the night. I'm definitely very tired.
Then please feel free. Escher, please walk them to the room.
Sorry, do I get my handshake?
Yes, you do. Yes, you get your handshake.
I turn to Esmeralda kind of under her breath. Are we really here?
One more time. Under your breath, what?
Are we really staying here?
Slowly
The-
walking
Oh,
slowly walking back,
I think
facing
we-
away from Strahd. Sorry. Yeah.
I think personally, Strahd, you said you could have us transported anywhere we like.
Anywhere you like in Barovia, yes.
Should we not then take this opportunity to go back for our charge?
We can always
Be-
go later.
Well, I kind of with a slight nod to my head. Not all of us are comfortable in this in this castle. Maybe we should go back and check on our other friend.
I'm sorry. What other friend are you referring to?
Just a friend that we've met along the way that is waiting for our return.
I understand. If it's all the same, I'd like to work with Escher about this ballad that we were talking about. I did tell him we would do this.
Well, I think at least a quick rest. For an hour or 2 might be worth it. Then we can always head out right away.
One thing you have to understand is you're already imprisoned within his halls, even if you're outside the castle, as I and Esmeralda now am. So, whether you stay here or not, it's the same fate. I'd recommend you stay here, it's at least safer.
Dalrud, what say you?
It's not like it's any safer out there as it is. So a bed wouldn't be too remiss.
That's a very good point.
And I think I guess I'll do a where is it? The performance?
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh god. I'm trying to convey to the group that there's another reason why we'd probably want to stay, at least for a little bit.
Oh,
Oh, and you can't say it?
I can't say it.
Ah.
Yeah, with a performance like that, it's kind of like a guys.
Yeah,
over
I
here.
cannot
But-
see his rolls.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, he doesn't have them public.
Oh,
So we don't see any of them.
Yeah.
Oops. Here, do I get a reroll? Yeah, no.
No,
If
no,
only
just
it let you just do that.
click the button that shows showed all. I didn't realize you had them all in private because I was able to see them. They were all straight to GM.
You can right click on it. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
I perceive you moving around. I don't see really anything, any message in it. I just see you being dough.
As I walk past everybody, we should stay. Then I walk over there.
What is that? An insight roll?
Oh God.
Oh,
We should stay. Maybe we should.
Yeah, again,
Whopping 9.
if he wanted to kill us, he would kill us. You guys have nothing to fear. He invited us here. He's not going to do that because this could be a stain on his honor.
Joe turns around as he gets to the door and says, "Well, I would imagine too. This is the safest place in Barovia."
I 100% agree with you.
Red just scoffs at that, but doesn't say anything else.
Well, it's still under invitation, so otherwise we would have more issues.
Aye, what could possibly go wrong? Dibs on bunking with Ez.
It looks like it's decided as Joe steps out the door.
Yeah, sure. Come to my room when you want to work on this ballad. I'd love to hear your song as well. I get up and I follow Doe out.
And did you come up with the agreement? Are we staying the night here, or are we going to
We'll stay.
be
the night.
moving out?
I mean,
I think we're staying the night. People can leave too, right? Like I'm staying the night.
Yes.
We could split up, yeah.
At this point in time, you do know that like being here, you're safe as long as you're under the acceptance of Strahd. Yeah, that acceptance of the invitation to Strahd to be here.
Yeah, plus we're also out of character waiting for Anastasia to come back with this badass gear. Like,
Oh, that is true too.
yeah, we're not gonna leave until we get that.
armor.
And I got a feeling
Anastasia.
these are going to be very comfortable beds.
Oh, I bet. If
Most
the woman
likely
has to say anything about it,
down.
yeah.
Down bed.
Esmer-
Most likely.
Esmeralda will give Marigai a squeeze. I'm just like, don't worry, we won't have to worry too much of Strahd for the night.
I'm not much of a bed person, but I suppose there might be a tree or something outside of the window.
Just a little curl up in the courtyard.
Oh, that's so cute. Oh, also us leaving out of character, is that like disrespectful? Like, would I have the eloquence since I was like attending bar college that we were not dismissed from the table yet from our guest or host?
No, at this time he had something pressing that he had to do, so he is leaving
good.
currently.
He
So
expressed the dismissal.
Okay, sorry, forgot about that. Thank you.
as he's like walking out before you guys make it out, he turns one quick moment and says, "You are free to roam the castle. However, do not go below this floor. That is as far as your invitation is allowing."
And asks, "Can I play the organ?"
Yes, you may play the organ.
Oh, I want to stay and listen.
I think we'll come back later.
Yeah, me too. Oh, okay.
As Strahd leaves, Escher then, oh, let's let's walk you to your rooms. And we can talk in the morning. Can't wait to talk to you. As he kind of looks over at Armand. Oh, there's so
Yeah.
much we can talk about.
I look forward to it, friend. Bring a good bottle of wine. We can certainly enjoy the night together.
As you see, Valentia kind of steps up and kind of walks slowly behind you. And then leaves within the stair area. You have Rahadin standing right here, with Escher, walking you to your rooms, which at this point you had known that the rooms were up the staircase above here, which would lead you to the grand landing, and then up the flight of stairs above it.
Kind of lingers back for a moment. She leaves and just or not, and her kind of an appraising look, seeing what does she see from her.
What are you looking for? Like, are you trying to look at
I'm just I think if anything's changed basically now that Strahd's gone. Is she relaxed? Has she how is she portraying herself?
Oh, are you talking about Anastasia?
No, the maid over here.
Oh, the maid?
Helga.
Helga is still
Oh,
looks as if, she's under duress. She's she's keeping her head down, shoulders back, as she's also walking off as well.
no, but I don't this time. All right.
So you can, as she's passing you by, going through the doors. Is there anything you wanted to do or say, or we could play this mind's eye so it's easier for you?
No, I'm good.
Quick question then, Cole. What was the
Yes.
name of the song again for my notes?
It was we'll call it the Sonnet of Sorrow, or Visage of Sorrow. Sorry.
Thank you.
Well, if you're taking notes, if you don't mind sharing for tonight too, because I don't have access to my own notes.
Yeah, I'm sure Laura would be able to pass over some of the notes, and I can also run with you through the notes and send them over to you. Yeah, we'll get you set up.
I'll send you everything that I have.
Okay, so the maid makes it off through the actual corridor upstairs as well. At this point, I think it's a good time to end. And I want to say thank you to everybody tonight for coming in, and you guys rocked. Thank you. That was some good RP going on in there. I loved it. Some great D&D banter. I swear it was great D&D banter.
I liked making her feel full.
That was funny. It definitely was. And thank you everybody. Oh, 30 out there. Thank you for coming in on the raids. H2O, thank you so much for the raid. Huge raid. We also got a raid from Amon Breyer. Thank you so much. And for the hosts on that as well. And Okatsu. Okatsu threw us a raid earlier. Huge raid as well. Thank you so much, Motivated Jackal, for the follow. I can't thank you enough for being a part of the community. It's awesome. H2O, thank you. You again. I wish we can stagger it to where I'm like completely always like we start when you end or something, so we can make this easier. But we got people on the East Coast and we got people on the West Coast, and I want to keep the love and keep it at keep it at 9 still. But yes, everybody, just so you have a feeling of what I do here. I like to play 7 Days to Die throughout the week, where people can influence my games and whatnot, as well as D&D. Like, you have the ability with the lurk loot that you get here to influence the way that you help the player or hinder the player. DJ, I'm definitely going to go ahead and oh, thank you, Amon Breyer, for that follow. That's huge. DJ, I'm going to go ahead and refund you that for the disadvantage. We didn't really do much rolling on this one. We did more of a RP session, really, to get everything set up, right? So let's get this going for next week. I'm going to get you that money. I'm going to get you that lurk loot back. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. Let's go ahead and see who we got that we can raid.
Nice.
All right, looks like we got Uranus. Uranus is going to be around, I think, for a bit. He just started 1 hour and 20 minutes ago. Let's go ahead and set this up to our stream ending. Once again, biggest D&D supporter, of course, Rob41Z. Patreon supporters, Louis B, Overwatch Grub Club, Faithful Kasuni and Ted, Mischief Makers Top Biddies, can't say the first one, Czar Andrew, Mike W, Seriously Not a Robot, William and Harry 14, Papa Smacks, Marichin 1, Cannon Fodder 83, Sky Strider Tag, Chikorito. I still have to put Norwegian Dwarf in there. I haven't put him in there, but I got to get him in there. I want to say thank you so much, everybody, for coming out here, hanging out, being a part of the family, and enjoying the content that we provide you here at Kulprids Corner. Brought to you by Kulprids Gamin. Y'all take care and have a wonderful night. Let's get started. Oh man, let's get that started. Yes, then I can get everything out there. There we go. There's a positive to every negative, right? Loading up 33 viewers.
It gives me a chance to get a few more lurk loot.
Oh man.
Exactly.
Have a wonderful night. Oh,
that'll make
Lou, I'm sorry I missed you. Oh man. Well, we will see you, Lou. We'll see you soon. All right. Everybody, take care. Have a wonderful night. Let's go.